Okay, now into your conventional planks. So there's 3 levels to this. First level would be on your knees. If you to be fair, no one receiving this video is weak enough to require your knees. I don't really expect anyone to do this, but it would be from there. The further away from your knees your elbows are, the more challenging it's going to be through your torso and your core. So you can do this. Keep your pelvis nice and neutral, abs engaged. Hold that for 30 seconds. Whatever version you choose, we're going to do 3 sets of 30 seconds or max reps. So max effort, should I say. So if you can only do 5 seconds before you start losing that neutral spine and dipping your arch in your back or feeling it in your back, just stop, pause, build up to the 30 seconds. Do the 30 seconds in multiple sets, but it's 3 sets of 30 seconds is the target. The baseline, which I expect everyone to be able to do, would be this. Long legs, straight knees, nice and engaged through your core, sucking up towards the ceiling, pause in there, head tucked just very slightly towards your chest, shoulder blades engaged, keeping those shoulders away from your ear. Hold for 30 seconds, should see a little bit of a shake, a little bit of a quiver, and that's how you know your core's struggling. What you want to avoid is dipping down or excessively arching up, trying to take away the effort. More challenging is to dip onto 3 points of base of support rather than all 4. You can do this by doing single leg planks, i.e. you lift one leg up, hold for the 30 seconds. Again here, if that's challenging, you can kind of march in between that, so you're shifting your weight from side to side throughout that 30-second duration. So from here it's 1, 2, 3, then switch legs. If you can do the whole 30 seconds in one position, switch them, or maybe 15 each side gives it a more balanced approach. The next level of that is to take an arm up, single arm planks. So again, just tuck one back here, whatever feels comfortable. Try not to let your pelvis dip upwards. It's not a side plank. Try to hold a straight plank from a 1 base of support. If it's too challenging, you'll find yourself dropping and losing that. Effort should be felt down the center, out to the obliques a little bit. Not so much in your, or nothing in your neck, not so much in your back. If you do have a mirror or someone to just watch you, make sure you're staying in relatively straight. Haven't got to be like a plank, but what you don't want is your bottom sticking way up in the air or your back arching. Okay, next move is your pikes and planks. As close to a pike and plank as you can do without a reformer. So you're going to come back onto that 4-point position. Pre-press up position really. Now the effort is going to be, the more challenging would be to walk your hands out so that you're in this position before you come back up into a pike. So starting point, step or walk out, out as far as you can without losing the stability and feeling it in your back. So some of you may only be able to come to here, that's challenging enough, and you start to feel that you're losing it in your core. That's fine, just walk back and you go all the way up. Now, limiting factor for me, there's going to be the length of my hamstring. My hamstring is feeling very tight, as are my calves, so it's going to stop how high I can go. But we're going to do 10 reps of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then back all the way into the pike. Down to the plank, push out, up to the pike. Breath-wise, you can do a double breathing pattern, whatever you prefer. Just make sure it's nice and long and continuous. I'm going to breathe out as I walk out, in as I come back up, out, and in. Now, if you're feeling too much in your wrist, take a break, shake it off, stretch it out, continue as much as you can. You're going to get 10 of those done. Then we're going back into conventional planks. We're going to add a twist, quite literally we're going to add a twist to that. From your plank position, you're going to rotate, arm up here, back down to the other side. You do 5 of each arm. Right, I've completely lost count, but 10 total reps of 5. Try not to hold your breath, you will get uncomfortable. From then on, we're going to add a push-up to that plank. If you can't do full push-ups, as with the planks, you're going to go onto your knees, push up, down, up, knees lift and rotate. Back down to the knees, push up, down, push up, elevate the knees, rotate. So that combination side to side is 1 rep. I only want you to do 5 of those, so it's 10 total movements again, 5 reps. If you're able to do a full press up, that is better. Just to demonstrate, I should illustrate, keep your shoulder blades back and down. It's very easy to hunch your shoulders up, put pressure through your neck and stop your muscles around your shoulder blades stabilizing, doing their job. So push up, rotate, push up, down, rotate. So breathe in, out, up, up. Whether you do all of your 10 movements, your 5 reps with the full push-ups, or you do as many as you can full push-ups and then finish on your knees, I don't mind, build up from there. That's the last exercise in the prone position. We're going to move on to our backs now. So laying down flat, we're going to start by opening up the spines. So laying down, you're just going to knock your legs from side to side. Knees together, pelvis relatively straight. Just breathe continuously. To increase that, or to make it more of an upper body movement, we're going to keep the knees to one side, and this movement's going to come from the upper body. Here and across. Clap hands, go to the crucifix. So you're going to do 10 knees side to side, followed by 10 claps each side. Next, if you're able, you can come into tabletop position and you're going to perform windscreen wipers. So your legs are moving from side to side as they were a minute ago, except this time you're using your lower abs to hold the weight of your legs up. So it's down, up, and across. Side to side, just 5 each side. If you want to make it more challenging, kick your legs further out. Be mindful, you need to be able to keep your back in neutral position, as whenever you're in tabletops, the weight of your leg is going to put challenge through your abs. If your abs aren't strong enough, you're going to hang off those rectus spinae muscles and the hamstrings. It's going to pull your pelvis into anterior tilt and arch your back, at which point your abs aren't really doing the job. So find the position that you're as challenging as possible while still keeping that neutral spine alignment. Don't let your back roll up. And you're just looking to do between 5 and 10 side to side. This is relatively easy. You can have an extension at that point. Up. Leg extension. Up. To make it more difficult, obviously lift your head up, arms across the chest. So try to hold that position. Right, onto some bridges. Foot placement's quite important here. The closer to your bottom your heels are, the more you're going to engage your glutes. Be mindful that the tension of your quads, so if you've got tight quads, the closer you bring, the more knee flexion you're encouraging, which is going to put the quadriceps in a lengthened position, stretching them out, which is going to put tension through that patellar tendon. So you might experience some knee pain if you've got tight quads, which is fine. Just find a position that enables you to do it without pain. So you have to walk up further. It will use the hamstrings more than the glutes, but it will take the pressure away from your knees. If you're experiencing knee pain, there's a quick fix.
Other than that, lifting up, squeezing the bottom, slowly back down. Remember how you roll up and down. So it's tilt the pelvis towards you, slowly up one vertebra at a time. Pause between 2 and 5 seconds, roll down. Top vertebra first. You're not flopping down, you're not having to arch your back. You're rolling down from the top vertebra, abs are engaged throughout. So is the glutes. If you find it difficult, arms down can just give you a little bit more stability and push off from the upper body. More challenging, arms across here. Tilt pelvis, lift up. Slowly back down. Breath wise, breathe out on the way up. Breathe in on the way down. Remember, the closer your heels are to your glutes, the more you're going to push down through your heels, squeezing your glutes. But you know, you're likely to feel a bit more in the quads if they're too tight. So it's half stretch mobility as well as the strengthening for the core and the glutes. If you are feeling pain in the knee joint itself, just take a bit of a step out, increase the extension and slacken off the tension through the quads. Progression from there, we're going to go into the one leg hold. So you're going to bridge up, come into that position, try and keep the spine aligned so the points of your pelvis should stay neutral. This one shouldn't drop down. Hold that for 5 seconds. If that is too challenging for you, just do the eccentric part, the lowering part. So you're going to come up with 2, pause, up to there, but instantly come back down. So you're not trying to have any time where you're holding the one leg position, you're just lowering. And that will build you up to the static hold. So what we're looking for here is 10 reps of 5-second holds with the one leg position if possible. You can march that, or you can do the eccentrics, building up to the hold marches. So when you're in the 1 foot position, you should feel the glute on the leg that's in contact with the ground really working. Your abs working and your obliques working to stop yourself dropping. Nice and stable, high as you can without arching your back. You should be in your glutes and your legs where you're feeling the effort, not just pushing up from your back. So when you've done 10 per side, 5-second holds, we're going to do more of a hamstring bridge now. So lifting up, similar to what you did with the pike and plank, you're going to walk your legs outwards so you feel the hamstrings working, try and keep the bottom high, then walk back. Hands down if you need more support. Nice and high. Walk as far out as you can without feeling all the effort in your back. You're going to feel some, because your rectus spinae is a core stabilizer, so you will feel it engaging. What you don't want is it to do all the work. You don't be relying on it and no longer engaging your abs. So you've got to use your own body awareness for that to make sure that you are engaged. But that's why we did all the work earlier to make sure we're activating this, so you've got that good mind-muscle connection. And you know that you're stabilizing through that muscle rather than just your back. 10 of those, no more. Then, as a little bonus, only if you do have a Pilates ring or a football or something stable, my makeshift version of my little boxing pads, put it between my knees. They're rigid enough that if I push into them, my knees are maintaining a hip width. The isometric adjust, I'm squeezing without moving. That's going to switch on the muscles in my inner thigh and in my groin, my adductor muscles. And that's what I'll be loading there for a set of 10. Bridging up as normal, but pushing inwards. So I'm trying to crush this, but obviously my knees remain hip width. If I had something too flexed, I'd be coming in like that. They'll defeat the object of the contraction. So ball or Pilates ring in between the knees, squeezing, push up, rolling down, just 10 of those. If you don't have facilities to do that, just carry on with your normal bridges. That's enough for bridges for now. We're going to go into some dead bugs, which you're going to need that lower abdominal strength. So it's tabletop position. The closer your knees are to you, the less challenging. The further away, the more challenging. Arms up here, like a bug on its back. It's dead bug, but it should really be dying bug, I think, because they're still moving. So you're going to put arm out, arm back, just to get used to keeping that core stable, avoiding your back from arching. What you're going to try and do is like the Supermans in the prone position, opposite arm, opposite leg. So from there, and back, and back. We're aiming to do 10 reps per side. Now, I'm pushing my legs quite far out. What you don't want is that to be lifting your belly up, so you're arching your spine and no longer using your abs. It defeats the object of the activity. So if your range is only to here, because your abs are lifting, just stay within that range to progress it over time. So the stronger you get, the more likely you are to be able to get to here and still maintain that neutral spine. Okay, so start with 5 each side, build up to 10 each side. Start with a short range, increasing the range as you get stronger. If you can do them already, great. From there, we're going to the normal teasers. So, no rings to assist you like on the trap table. Legs down is the default position. The least challenging is to imagine you're holding the bar. So push up there. As it passes your eye line, you're lifting up with the bar right in front of you. Remember, so it's one vertebra at a time, so you're lifting your head, shoulders, upper back vertebra onto the lower back. Lifting up smooth and controlled to there. Same on the way down, you're rolling from the pelvis first, keeping your abs engaged, dropping down, dropping down, dropping down, and out. And then up. And down. So slow control move, you're not using momentum. You're not chucking yourself up like a sit-up. You're rolling up like a Pilates teaser. Down. If you want to make that more challenging, the first thing to do is use long arms. So no longer will you be leading with your arms are going to come in last. So you roll up, high arms, well not quite last, but the further back they are, the more challenging. You can see I can just about get to here, that's my limit at the moment. And back down. Breathing in on the way down. And out on the way up for long continuous reps. Try to take 2 to 3 seconds on the way down, 2 to 3 seconds on the way up. The final progression from there is elevated leg position. So from here, you're going to try limiting momentum, which is a lot more difficult to do with your legs up. You're going to try and roll up and down and up. If you've seen my old videos, you can do that a lot better. So the effects of COVID and lockdown have obviously taken their toll. Roll up and down. Anyway, for a total of 20 reps, use a variation of those or whatever hardest point that you actually able to do with good form. If you can do all 20 with the feet up and arms up, great. If not, regress it as is suitable for you. All right, V-sits. Now, some people may need to hook their feet to something to give it more stability, but all you're looking to do here is as straight as possible. You're going to do your V-sit as with the reformer. My hamstrings and calf will never let me do that right now. I'm going to need to bend my legs. I'm okay to not hook my feet, but some people may have to, or have someone hold your feet if you have a suitable workout partner. But from here, you're going to lean forward. A bit further than that. You want to stretch in your hamstrings and top of your calves, not in your back. You don't want it to always be coming from your back, reaching forward. That is the case for me a little bit, and possibly for some of you. A quick fix would be to have something to sit on, something to elevate yourself, a few suitable cushions, something to change the angle so you can focus the stretch on your hamstrings and not on your back. So imagine I'm elevated, I'm actually feeling this in my hamstring, not just my back. You're going to lean forward, back, rotate, pause, back, down, up, rotate. So you should feel the hamstring on the lean forward and the lower and upper back on the rotation. 5 to 10 each side, up to you. But do set yourself up correctly. Make sure if you need it, you've got something to sit on. Make sure if you need it, you've got something to hook your feet onto. And bend your knees if needed, but not so much that you no longer feel the stretch in the hamstrings at all. Right, let's get those obliques working. So from here, you're going to set yourself up like you're doing that final glute stretch, the piriformis stretch. On your back, one ankle across the opposite knee. That's going to instantly put your glute on a little bit of a stretch. Arm with the leg up, it's going to just lay flat on the ground. Other arms will be behind your head, but not pulling too much on your head. The effort's coming from your core, and most notably your obliques on the side of your core. So you're trying to touch this elbow to that knee. 1. Breathe out as you come up. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 9. 10. Switch legs and go again. 2. A continuous long breath, so 3. 4. Should really feel it in your stomach at this point. 5. 6. 7. 8. Remember, it's smooth, you're only lightly touching your head. 9. Try to keep that knee further away, don't cheat like I am to lessen the range. Last one. Right. Progression, only 5 each side next. Same thing, but you can have elevated legs, tabletop position. You bring in the opposite knee and the opposite arm together, so your knee comes this way, the elbow comes that way. Up. And that. Just 5 each side, 10 each side if you're feeling strong. And that's enough for the sitting down. Actually, we'll do one more, Russian twist. If you have a weight, like one I made earlier, all the better. This will be one of the progressions. The most basic form, you're going to keep your heels in contact. So your heels are down, your legs are bent. What you're going to do here is roll down like you're going to do one of those teasers. Roll down, whatever. Pause till you feel it in your transverse abdominal. And you're going side to side. Don't be tempted to come forward and offload your abs. Down, down. First progression from there is to lift your legs up. Final progression is to do it with some weight. Legs up, touch, 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 touch. If you're feeling it more in your hip flexor than you are in your abs, that's a surefire suggestion to have your heels in contact. You can use the weight from there. Obviously you can progress the heaviness of that weight. You can progress how far you roll back, so there's more tension through your abs, and then you can lift your legs up. Right, turn that one off.